This is the Power Platform Daily Brief from CRM Audio for Wednesday, April 10th, 2019. What you need to know about the Power Platform today in 10 minutes or less. I'm Brad Kuntz. Today, we're asking a lot of questions. Can Microsoft AI help fight fires? Can I unplug my thumb drive without fear? And really, fear of what? Will Microsoft acquire Adobe? And those dynamic guys in The Hobbit ask, is Dynamics 365 dead? Wall Street Journal this week is reporting on a great artificial intelligence use case, which is nice based on the normal AI stories, talking about how evil AI can be. But this story highlights how firefighters are using the massive amounts of satellite data combined with supercomputing power to take on the fires. The story goes on to say, quote, one key move was Microsoft's launch in 2017 of a program called AI for Earth, which gives the general public access to AI tools that can be used to parse information from satellites and other data resources powered by its cloud services. Microsoft issues grants to people and groups to help defray the cost of accessing the cloud for work on environmental issues, such as wildfire prevention. We're flying blind now, says Lucas Jopa, Chief Environmental Officer of the Redmond, Washington computer giant. We have no idea what the state of our national forests in the U.S. are, yet I can point to a different coffee shop in a millisecond. So a great story there, once again, about the a good use case for AI, and it's good to see that as a nice balance to some of the other AI stories that you see from time to time. Windows 10 users can now unplug hardware such as USB drives without fear. Microsoft announced this week that quick removal is the new default setting that keeps external storage ready to go at any time. So rest easy, all of you thumb drive users out there. Your data and your laptop are safe. This actually happened last year, if anyone noticed, but Microsoft made the larger announcement in detail this week. So we've got a link to that for those that might be curious about this fantastic innovation coming down from Microsoft. Is the Power Platform dead? Or is D365 dead? Scott Duro certainly does not think so. He wrote a nice blog on this topic, provocatively called PowerPlatform.com is for sale. It's not, by the way. Good Google Analytics proof that the Power Platform as a concept is a sticky and getting stickier thing. So check that out. I've got a link to his good blog in the show notes. Forrester doesn't think so either. Forrester last month released their low-code development platforms for AD&D, that's application development and delivery. Pros. I've got a link to that reprint in show notes as well. But in summary, Microsoft is a leader. If you're familiar with Forrester's methodology, that's upper right-hand corner in the Forrester wave, along with Salesforce, but I will say that Microsoft is slightly higher and slightly more to the right. So they go on to say that Microsoft, quote, Microsoft leaps to the top tier, but its product lineup may confuse. Power Apps is now a leading choice among low-code platforms for AD&D pros, although reference customers suggest it isn't widely used at an enterprise scale. It goes on to say, however, it is part of a product line that can confuse. The product works with Visual Studio, but customers require additional licenses and project coordination. For reporting and analysis, Microsoft offers Power BI to supplement Power Apps, a strong product, but again, additional licenses and process integration is required. So, opportunities for bundling and packaging abound here, but certainly glad to see that Microsoft is out as a leader. Will Microsoft acquire Adobe? That was certainly the scuttlebutt last week at Adobe Summit. Microsoft was able to get in front of over 17,000 marketers to tout its partnership with Adobe and push the extension of the Open Data Initiative. But the question keeps being asked, will Microsoft acquire Adobe? Fantastic article from CMS Wire this week about this topic. This is a topic that is a rumor that's been going back all the way to 2010. And it's interesting because of the market cap for the two companies. Microsoft's market cap currently is at $919 billion, but Adobe is at $130 billion. So that's a long way from the $26 billion purchase of LinkedIn a couple of years ago. And it's also an interesting development, especially coming on the heels of IBM's announcement last week that they would be selling off their MarTech stack to private equity firms. So fantastic article coming out of Las Vegas and Adobe Summit from CMS Wire asking the very provocative question, will Adobe acquire Microsoft again? Fantastic read. I'll put a link into the show notes. And finally today, we'll ask the question again, is Dynamics 365 dead? And to help answer that, we're going to take a preview of another podcast in the CRM Audio Network that will drop this week from those Dynamics guys.
Now, normally, with the ISV approach, that would be a bit of a pain to be a lot of integrations, but now we can seamlessly do that ourselves. And this is really where we should start leveraging and pushing away ISVs and doing it ourselves. But by proxy, we then become an ISV in a way. And
you become a Power Platform ISV.
Exactly.
So isn't it really? It's not that the ISVs are dead. There's a transformation point that's occurring right now.
And I apologize because it was a bit of a rambling, and I'm still maturing my own thoughts around this. But I think I got across what I was hoping
no, you got
for.
me there. You got me there. I get it.
Yeah, okay. Well, Sean gets it. We're good.
Well, it's an interesting point because during the MVP summit, Mark Smith was talking about how Dynamics 365 is dead and the Power Platform is what's alive, and I don't think that's necessarily a true statement either. I think there is a transformation that's happening to where we have more tools, more flexibility, more ability to be creative in our solutions with much more agility, I think is the key.
And I think that is true for FinOps, but actually, if we see it through Mark's eyes, where he's more customer engagement focused, whenever you buy a piece of customer engagement now, and especially moving forward, you're really just buying the Power Platform. You're buying the CDS database. You're buying model-driven apps that are pre-built with business logic that's pre-built. So you're paying for that business logic.
That's what you know.
So really, you're buying a managed Power Platform service.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? This is a really good, segue into the next.
Man, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Okay, Sean. So scenario, I get asked by a customer to implement a solution that will allow me to schedule resources to go and.
That's all for today's Power Platform Daily Brief. Power on.